this is about understanding our emotions and thinking. And sometimes when we talk about emotions, we're not really sure about what that looks like, right? And I know that sometimes just from the couple days I've been with you guys, it's really hard to process what our emotions are, right? What do you guys find is the most hardest thing when it comes to dealing with your emotions?
Can you repeat that?
Yeah. So you know how like sometimes you guys get triggered in situations? It's kind of hard for you guys to understand what type of emotions you're feeling. What do you guys think is the hardest part of that? And that's okay. How about you? Not sure? Well, many things can cause emotions. Emotions are reactions to things that happen around us, and we can use feeling words to describe them. Sometimes you can feel, and sometimes you can feel happy, and sometimes you can feel sad. And sometimes you can feel a combination of both emotions, right? Where sometimes you're just not sure and you're in a blah kind of stage. Because sometimes I feel like that too. But all of those feelings are normal. The better you become at identifying your feelings, the more you will understand yourself. What emotions do you remember that you are experiencing the last couple of days? Miss Sinclair shared this book with me if you guys want to look through it. I know that has a couple of good examples. And there's some on that page too. How about you, Joey? Do you know? No.
I've been feeling bored.
You've been feeling what?
Bored.
Bored, yeah.
Sometimes happy. Cold.
Cold? Yeah.
Sometimes cautious.
What was that?
Sometimes cautious.
Cautious, yeah. Like when you enter a classroom, or these are good emotions. Joe, you don't have any that you remember? Frustrated?
Exhausted.
Oh, exhausted. Yeah. Are you exhausted right now? Today we're going to talk about emotions and how to help identify them. And then that's why we're going to go over this PowerPoint that I printed out for you guys. So what is your idea on what emotions are?
Emotions are like what you feel all the time and how you handle some of them.
Yeah. What about you, Joey? What do you think they are?
I don't know.
Yeah, so the definition that was given to us was a natural instinctive state of mind driving from one's circumstances, mood, or relationships with others. Does that sound a little bit accurate on what it could have been? Yeah. So then I kind of shared with you guys some emotions that I thought were kind of nice to see, because like on this side it kind of gives you different faces of what it could be, but on that side, when we feel that way, we could also feel other ways too. So what are some different type of emotions that we use each and every day? And you kind of gave the example of what you've been feeling. And then Joey, you're just kind of exhausted. Yeah. What are so like I know that today I'm feeling happy. What are you feeling today?
From this side.
Mm-hmm.
Happy.
Happy. Do you know why you're happy today?
No. Uh-oh.
Not really. I was excited to come here today.
I'm happy because we in nursing PE we just did stuff since she was trying us out for the tracking thing
Mm-hmm.
for what we want to do. We were me and Ethan, and Bethany and Draven were all playing Jake the Snake, and then everybody else were doing this thing. But towards the end, she brought out that big ball and we played Foursquare.
So you guys are gonna do a track meet? Is that what you said?
I don't know if I'm gonna be on a track meet. Doesn't everybody have to go? No, yeah. Well, I don't know I'm gonna do a track meet.
Okay. Does that kind of make you nervous? Yeah.
I don't know if I have a bike track meet.
Oh.
I have a bike, and that's the only thing that I can ride fast. It's on May 7th, Friday. The whole 6th grade is going. 6th grade? Yeah. That's what I said, 6th grade.
Yeah. Well, what about you, Joey? What are you feeling today?
The same thing I always feel.
Just exhausted? Do you know why? Okay, that's fair. So the next thing that we're going to look at is emotions thermometers on the next page. So feelings can be strong, mild, or somewhere in between. An emotions thermometer can help to measure how big or small your feelings are in different situations. So I know one thing that I learned a long time ago was when we go through. So this is just a paper for you guys to do that I have to collect later and we'll do together. So one thing that I remembered, another teacher that I got to talk to a long time ago, she used to tell me about how our brain works in different ways and how at some point in time we have to be the boss of our brain and not let emotions control what we think. And when I saw this, I thought that was pretty neat because I talked about how do we see it as a big deal or a small deal and how our feelings play in that situation. So we're going to understand the intensity of an emotion that will help us understand the feeling and communicate with others. So the first one, guys, you are writing a report on a computer and accidentally delete the file. What would you feel? And if there's not emotion, then you guys have another thermometer to fill in.
Do we fill it in?
Yeah, so it's the first one on that page too, but you can do it on that one either way. You feel angry. Well, can you color in? You guys think?
Up to where we feel it?
Mm-hmm. And you can use a marker too if you'd like. You want to use a marker?
Use red for angry.
Okay.
Do we call it all in until we get to?
Yeah, wherever you feel that how angry or whatever emotion you're gonna write in, how much that would be for you. Like how big of a deal or how small of a deal would it be?
A diagram or chart that help us understand the information that's being presented. Okay. So that would be nonfiction.
And you said you'd feel angry. So how big the intensity would be? Like a 9? Is that what you said? 9. What about you, Joey? The full thing. You'd be angry. I know that I would probably feel frustrated if that happened to me. But now it's kind of nice because we have Google Docs, so it does saves automatically, which before it was all on Word and it would not save. So then the second one we're going to fill in is your mother announces that your family will be spending the entire summer at the beach. How would that make you feel?
Happy.
Happy.
Sad.
Sad?
Because I've never really been to a beach. I've been to pools.
I asked my kids at home, my personal kids, how they would feel. And my son, he's a worry body. And he was like, that would make my anxiety high if I had to be at the beach all the time for the whole summer. Because he's afraid of like what might happen.
Actually.
Even though he loves sharks. Is that you too? So why would you feel sad?
Because I would rather go quick.
Yeah. Do you have any animals or anybody that you'd miss while you're away? Yeah. 2 people? 2 animals. And then you'd feel happy because it would be a nice kind of vacation. Yeah. So the next one is someone tells you that another student is telling nasty lies about you. How intense would that be for you?
I would be mad. All the way mad.
All the way mad?
I'll be all the way angry.
Angry?
Like, I'm not angry, not mad.
So you'd be angry. Why would you be angry?
They have no point. They have no reason to lie. They're spreading rumors, but that are lies. Rumors all technically lies.
See, when I was doing this, I'd feel annoyed that somebody would want to say things like that to me. On the back is our last question. So you walk in front of the class to read your report, you trip and everyone laughs. How would that make you feel?
All the way embarrassed. Yeah.
You'd feel embarrassed, huh? You too, Joey? And why would you feel embarrassed?
Because you can go first if you know what's talking first. Go ahead. Because everybody will call you a name of it.
So you mean like teasing you?
Yeah, like Trip Sirlock.
Trip Sir a lot? Or they'd probably think that you're clumsy. How about you?
The reason I would be embarrassed is because I was thinking that if I woke up, it's strict to do, but then you took and you went everywhere, and the people started walking, so that's why I would be embarrassed because I was friendly with them and ready to do it, but people started walking too quick.
Yeah. It's kind of like all your hard work went for nothing, right? Yeah. And that's understandable. So the next one, can I have these? Thank you. So the next one we're going to talk about is our emotional brain, the amygdala. And I know that Mrs. St. Clair kind of talked with you guys about this earlier in the year, where our brains are divided into 2 sections, the emotional brain and the thinking brain. Deep inside your brain is a small oval-shaped structure called the amygdala. The amygdala is part of your emotional brain, which is also known as the limbic system. The amygdala is responsible for helping you avoid uncomfortable or dangerous situations. Have you guys heard that before? Yeah. And so then on the next page, it shows you where that's located at. Do you guys see that? And that brain's pretty big, huh? So what that does for us is it senses danger. and it's an automatic sends out an alarm to our brain. You cannot hear this, but you can feel it, right? So the amygdala alarm causes fight or flight response. Have you guys heard of that before?
Yeah.
Yeah. What are some examples of that?
If you're like being picked on, like flight or wait, did you say flight or fight?
Fight or flight, yeah. Because that's what the amygdala does.
Like if you're say like since you like tripped again,
Hmm.
you would probably like flight away. But if like someone was like picking on you or another person, you would most likely fight.
Okay. What about you, Joey? What do you think that would mean? You're not sure? That's okay.
Like run away or stay in the
Yeah. It's when you deal with danger, right? So then the next part would be your thinking brain, your cerebral cortex. And that's where your cortex makes up 80% of your brain. So you saw the picture down there? And it is responsible for the next one. So it's responsible for learning, reasoning, and complex thinking. Although all mammals have the cerebral cortex, humans have the largest cortex relative to the size of their brain. This means that we're uniquely designed to think. And you guys saw the picture. So then it talks about when we are feeling stressed out or out of control, the feeling brain, so the limbic system where the amygdala is, it takes over and we can lose the ability to think, right? Luckily, we can help train our limbic system to pause and let our thinking brain solve problems. This means that we do not have to overreact to everything that's around us, and instead we can make those choices. So then the next one is called, have you guys ever seen that picture?
I don't think so.
You haven't. So when you guys go, I know it's at TJ, and that's one thing I was asking you guys was, I know at my high school where I work at, we have these pictures everywhere, and it's just kind of like a good reminder of what our upstairs and downstairs brain does. And so our upstairs is kind of like, what kind of type is that we talked about?
Thinking.
The thinking part, right?
And the downstairs is where
It's like your,
learning. Using
yeah. So it's when you're in fight or flight mode, right? So we're not making decisions that we should be making when we're down there. So then I have another little sheet for you. And I filled out mine where my examples were. So I just want you to do 3 examples of what you would do in your thinking brain, and then 3 what you would do in your survival brain. So your survival is like what happens. So my examples for your survival is downstairs. So it kind of looks, here's your downstairs brain, and here's your upstairs brain, right? Upstairs, downstairs. So my upstairs is when someone accuses me, I go into like this, what do I do next? I freeze, right? And then another one was I'm not really good with surprises. So if somebody gives me a surprise, I'm not ready for it. So I freeze with that too. And then can't figure things out. I get frustrated. So then I have 2 of my emotions that I gave examples for, which I'm frustrated and annoyed. But then when I'm thinking, I get, like when I'm getting feedback, watching my kids at their events, or when I have alone time. That's when I have good thinking time, and I'm making good choices, and so I get excited and I'm kind of mellow. You guys want to see that? I'll help you, or do you want to see the house? Do you need help with any of it? Okay.
Okay, so why is it really important to them?
Okay, so now I want you to fill in your emotions, what you feel when you're in your upstairs brain, and then 2 emotions that you feel when you're in your downstairs brain.
So the number one, the first one has to be 2 emotions for the upstairs. The second one has to be the 2 for the downstairs.
Yeah. Do you see how where's mine?
So like put the first one.
So like I put for my 2 for my upstairs, I feel excited and mellow. But then when I'm in my downstairs thought process, I get frustrated and I'm annoyed. Let's see. Maybe that might help you. What about you, Miss Sinclair? What do you feel when you're in your upstairs brain?
I would say I'd use a bigger word like regulated because I could feel
Done.
Engaged. I could
Wait, I'm
feel
taking this.
happy, good about things, calm, satisfied.
I like satisfied.
Mine is the for the upstairs is happy and mine for that.
And what feeling?
Mine's
Mindfulness.
then mine downstairs one is angry and annoyed. How do you spell cautious?
Cautious. 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 Yeah. So do you want to share what your upstairs is? No? Okay. I do like your emotions. Do you want to come back and finish that one? Okay.
So we have to watch them.
We can if we have time.
It's 9:02.
What time do you guys leave here?
9:15.
Okay. So the last thing was, this is kind of something that I learned from another teacher who told me about your brain. Are you going to be the boss of your brain, or are you going to make the choices, right? Make the choices. So one thing that I know that can help self-regulate, stop, think, and choose, right? So it's impulse controls where we need to help our brain stop, think, and choose and make the right emotions, feelings, responses to make the right decisions. Where might you need to remember this skill? In the hallway. Is that where you struggle a lot? Yeah, what about you? When you're with what?
When I'm around my brothers.
Okay. Is that kind of a hard time sometimes?
Because they always eat my food.
I feel like siblings can be a big trigger. Like I know I have to tell my son sometimes too is, are you gonna let my littlest daughter, her name's Nellie, I said, are you gonna let Nellie be the boss of your brain? And he's like, no, she's not the boss of me. And I said, well, if you didn't react to everything she did, then you wouldn't be the boss, right? So that's probably like something that helps me too.
I'm the kid with the anger issues.
And that's, it's hard sometimes to try to get regulated and try to understand what we're going through.
Okay.
Did you guys want to see that video?
No.
No? Okay, that's fair.
We can put in
No. Well, thank you guys.
Wait,